The Last Embrace by J.W. Steele. The azure skies of Mira 5 stretched endlessly over the barren expanse, a silent witness to the delicate giant that stood alone. The tree, massive, ancient, and alive with a faint luminescence, stood as the last remnant of its kind. Its bark shimmered with hues of silver and green, and its sprawling canopy cast shadows that fell across the crimson sands. Beneath its boughs, life flickered, the air thick with the subtle hum of cosmic energy. Thomas and Lila had arrived on Mira 5 half a century ago, leaving Earth and its imperfections behind. The journey was one way, a mission of devotion to the preservation of this arboreal relic. The tree provided them with nourishment, its fruit gleamed like gold, and its leaves shimmered like silver. They'd spent decades nurturing the tree, studying its rhythms, and marveling at the subtle ways it communicated, the rustle of its leaves, like whispers, the soft glow of its bark, in response to their touch. For them, the tree was more than a scientific marvel, it was a beacon of hope, a living testament to life's resilience. But now, only Thomas remained. Lila had passed 2 months ago, her body laid to rest, beneath the very tree to which they dedicated their lives. Since her death, the vibrancy of the tree's glow had dimmed, as if it too mourned her loss. Thomas felt the weight of solitude pressing on him, his once strong frame now frail. His days blurred into nights, and his connection with the tree faltered as grief consumed him. Each morning, Thomas limped to the base of the tree, his legs trembling under the effort. He'd sit against its trunk, feeling the faint thrum of life within. "She's gone," he whispered one day, his voice cracking. "You were her joy, and now..." He trailed off, tears carving paths down his weathered cheeks. The tree's leaves rustled softly, though there was no wind. The old man's breath caught. Over the years, he and Lila had theorized that the tree possessed awareness, perhaps even a form of sentience. Now, in his loneliness, he clung to the notion that it understood him. Weeks passed, and Thomas's grew feeble. His body weakened, his mind clouded. The once bright light of the tree grew fainter, as though it mirrored his decline. One evening, as the twin moons of Mira 5 bathed the tree in a silvery glow, Thomas felt a gentle urging to speak to it once more. "I've failed you," he murmured, his voice barely audible. "I'm not strong enough to carry on without her." His hands pressed against the cool bark, and for the first time, he felt warmth emanate from within. The warmth spread through his palms, a sensation both comforting and profound. Images flickered in his mind, moments of him and Lila tending the tree, their laughter, their shared dreams. The memories were vivid, as though the tree itself was showing him their shared history. "You remember us," Thomas said, his voice hollow. The tree's glow pulsed faintly, in response. Tears welled in his eyes as he realized the truth. The tree knew him and would claim him his own, just as it did Lila. Summoning the last of his strength, Thomas leaned forward, wrapping his arms around the trunk. "I've given you my life," he whispered. "Take what remains of me. Let me be part of you." The tree's bark softened under his touch, and its light grew brighter, enveloping them both in a cocoon of radiant energy. Thomas felt his body grow lighter, the pain and weariness melting away. His mind expanded, merging with the tree's essence. In that fated moment, Thomas understood the depth of the tree's power. It was not merely a relic of a dying species, it was a guardian, a bridge between life and eternity. Through his union with the tree, his essence infused with all that is divine. The tree's glow surged, casting a brilliant light across the desolate landscape, as though proclaiming its rebirth. The planet's barren sands began to stir, hints of green sprouting where once there had been only red. The air grew thicker with life, the hum of energy more vibrant. The tree had absorbed not just Thomas, but the love and dedication he and Lila had poured into it over decades. Far above, the twin moons reflected the tree's light, a beacon visible even in the darkest corners of the galaxy. On Mira 5, the last tree of its kind, stood stronger than ever, a living monument to the unbreakable bond between life and love. And in its branches, one could almost hear the faint, harmonious whispers of three souls united forever.